my friends, and welcome to another installment of Pop's Comic Book Vault. Today I have the haul, the comic book haul. That means all the stuff I hauled in over the last month or so. Steve Rude penciler in this one. Yeah, it's a great comic. Another Spider-Man universe. Part 2 of 3. Part 3. 3 of 3. Spider-Man universe, Mysterio's Manifesto. And part 2. And part 3. I have a lot to show you guys, so if I'm showing them too quick, I'm sorry. They were married. They weren't living in sin when they had this daughter. The plot line kind of is the daughter was taken away from them by some government agency or some weirdos, and Mary Jane and Spider-Man Peter Parker thought they had a miscarriage. So that's kind of the story. She comes into the future, and that's Spider-Girl. Number 4, needed this one. I haven't read too many of these, to tell the truth. I'll be honest with you. I gotta really sit down and read. That's what's great about comic collecting. But now I get to read the ones that I was missing. Ramos, not one of my favorite artists. He ended up doing the Superior Spider-Man. Some of his early art was a little better than some of his later art, I think, anyway. And another one. And here's the anniversary issue, number 75. It looks like Spider-Man and the Spider-Man clone there. And that is John Romita Jr. Now here's a miniseries that lasted 12 issues, and it's Spider-Man Chapter 1, number 8. I guess I was missing number 8. I think I have the whole complete set now after I picked these up. Number 9. These were like old school Spider-Mans. Number 10, Green Goblin. Number 11, What Does It Take to Kill a Spider? The Giant Man. And it goes on and on. As you can see, John Byrne is one of my favorite artists. I met him when I was younger at the Boston comic book conventions. He was kind of very snide guy. I remember I had my camera up, and that was the first time I ever used it. It was a Minolta X7000, which anyone that knows anything about cameras can tell you that's a great camera, especially in our time and day, the Minolta X7000. And John Byrne said to me, he goes, "Oh, is that the first time you ever used that thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it is." And I took a couple of shots of him. Someday on one of my videos I'll show you some of the shots I took of John Byrne and Terry Austin. They worked on the Uncanny XMen in the 1980s, and that's one of my favorite comics. And here is another John Romita Jr. cover with Venom and JJJ on it. J. Jonah Jameson. Or as they said in the old Spider-Man show, Jameson. I say Jameson. Not nice. Some people don't like John Romita Jr.'s art. They say, oh, he wasn't as good as his father. I don't like his style. I don't like his thin lines. I've always been a big fan of John Romita Jr. And that's Peter Parker, Spider-Man #3. Peter Parker, Spider-Man #2. Definitely a John Romita cover. Very nice. Number 22. A double-sized blockbuster, number 25, The Spider Hunt, Part 1. They had crossovers in comics. This is the Sensational Spider-Man, and it probably crossed over into the Amazing Spider-Man or Web of Spider-Man or both. They call them crossovers. Crossovers are kind of a pain in the ass, but that's a story for another day. Sensational Spider-Man number 24. Looks like a Christmas issue. Number 23 with Doctor Strange. Very nice colors on this cover. The Sensational Spider-Man number 30 with the black cap. Number 13. That's Spider-Man Unlimited, by the way. We're changing titles because this one with the lizard. Oh, lizard kind of looks like the movie lizard in this. The lizard from the Amazing Spider-Man movie. You know? A little bit like him. Yeah. Spider-Man Unlimited number 20. Wow. It's a nice one. Looks like he's facing Frankenstein in this one and some vampire woman. Vampirus or something. Nice. Nice. Oh. Rampage of the Frankenstein Monster. Mike Diodato, one of my favorite artists. I'm friends with him on Facebook. He's unbelievable. Yes, it is his cover, but he did the insides as well. Mike Diodato. Thanks, Mike, for turning me on all these years with your excellent artwork and style. Just gotta love it. Spider-Man Unlimited. For children, it's the Marvel Animated Studios Unlimited. They made 2 Spider-Man Unlimiteds. This is the kids' Spider-Man Unlimited, which I get the kids' comics too. I'm a completist, you know what I'm saying, kids? I want to complete all the sets. I'm pretty close to completing all the Spider-Mans, except for Marvel Team Up and certain other ones, but I do stop at a certain year and whatnot, but man, what a tough title to collect, to get all of them. That looks like a one-shot issue. The Sensational Spider-Man, another one-shot. I read this the other day while I was looking through these, and love this story. It's kind of a reminiscence of the old John Romita days. John Romita was the second artist on Spider-Man after Steve Ditko, so he did it for quite some time. Naturally, he did many Spider-Man titles. And here's the Sensational Spider-Man number 36, Back in Black. This is when Spider-Man used his black costume. These are kind of dark covers. I hope you can see these. Iron Man built Spider-Man a new suit. It's kind of made of crimson red and gold, and it glowed. It's almost like an Iron Man suit in a way. Spidey's had many costumes and suits over the years. Can you guys see that? I don't know. It's very hard to know what you guys are seeing in the camera. I have another camcorder over here, right here. Well, I'll take some close-ups of these later. Number 27. I read these too. Storyline was a little speedy, but I enjoyed it. The artwork was good. The artwork in these was Angel Medina, which I liked his stuff. He drew Spawn for quite some time, the Spawn character, Todd McFarlane's Spawn. Here's another one, Sensational Spider-Man number 24. And Sensational Spider-Man, Marvel Team Up, Spider-Man Marvel Team Up series number, I think, 3 on this one. Number 7 with the Thunderbolts. So I got a bunch of Spider-Mans. A nice stack of Spider-Mans to fill in my issues. I'm filling in my Fangorias. After going through these, this is the American Werewolf in London issue. As you know, I've done a video on the werewolf. This is number 14 from the early 1980s, and number 77 from the 1980s with Freddy Krueger on it. So that makes me only need 5 more, and I'll have every Fangoria from number 1 to 100. Then the rest, that's a whole nother story. The bloody best of Fangoria. These basically, I almost didn't want these, but he had a few, so I grabbed them. These basically are reprints of the Fangorias over the years. The bloody best of Fangoria, number 7, volume number 7, with the Predator on it. One of my favorite movies. Yeah. And these Fangoria magazines have so much information about special effects. They have information about old movies, old B, science fiction and horror movies you've never seen before. And the information books that you might want to read that are consistent with horror movies and the horror genre. Now these I got too from them because I'm trying to complete the collection of these. Not as bad because Gore Zone stopped at I think number 22 or 23. And I have like number 1, 2, and 3, but here is number 4. Right here. Another Freddy Krueger cover. And these were called the Gore Zone. The Gore Zone. And actually, right now, they're actually going to bring this magazine back into publication. I think they already have. It should be around issue 1 or 2. So anyone that wants to see some new stuff about the horror movies, the information in these is superlative. It's unbelievable how much information you can get. The interviews with the directors, the makeup artists, the special effects men. It goes on and on. The writers, Stephen King, they have interviews with. It's just unbelievable. That's why I collect them. Because I like to do horror movies, as you guys know, gory stories and morbid moments. And Freddy Krueger must have been very popular because he's on a lot of these covers. Oh, I think this is Fred Gwynn from Pet Sematary. I loved the book. The movie didn't thrill me, I have to say. There was some things about the movie that just didn't do it for me. But as you can see, he got cut up a little there. Fred Gwynn was Herman Munster too, by the way. He was in the Pet Sematary movie. The road is more rockier for a man. I don't know. He did that Maine accent, and it was great. I'll have to look that up and do a better impression of Fred Gwynn when he was doing that. Here's another one. And another one, Freddy Nightmare, Dream Baby. I have all these on DVD, all these Freddy Krueger movies. I think that's the Dream Baby. Yeah, Nightmare number 5. Freddy's the baby even a mother would hate. Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And Basket Case 2. This guy looks like he has a little problem with his incisors and gingivitis at the same time. Jeez, talk about, rodents need to chew on sticks and hot things to make their teeth stay small so they can actually eat their food. This guy should have taken a lesson from those rodents. And The Bride of the Reanimator, Gore Zone number 14. I love those Reanimator movies. H.G. Herschel. Reanimator. Edgar, based on H.P. Lovecraft stuff. And I got some tapes from Artie, because when he bought a collection, he ended up with thousands of tapes. Literally, thousands of tapes. I looked at my collection because I was talking to my friend Greg Fla. Hi Greg, how you doing? And we were talking about Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. I could not find it in my DVD collection at all. So now I have, it's on VHS. The quality's not as great, but I can throw that in my player. And now the reason I have this Son of Frankenstein, I got this too from him, is because my beautiful and talented fiancée, Lisa, from Lisa Productions, gave me this one year. It was brand new. It was sealed and everything. She bought me a whole bunch of these. She bought me like the series of these box sets. I have like Dracula. I had a couple of them, but anyways, she got me this Frankenstein one. And it's got like all the classic, all the Universal, Son of Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein, and the House of Frank, the whole gambit is on here. But when I watched it, the Son of Frankenstein had some glitches in it, and it bothered me, because out of all of them, that's one of my favorites. Now I have it on VHS tape. I picked that was part of the haul. The Invisible Man Returns. This is one with Vincent Price, one of my favorite horror actors. The Invisible Man Returns on good old VHS tape. And The Incredible Shrinking Man. Another one of my favorites. Now, he had picked up a copy of the Wild Wild West first season. Therefore, for the music at the beginning of this installment of Pop's Comic Book Vault. And there is the Wild Wild West in glorious black and white first season. This show was a lot of fun. It mixed the westerns with the fantasy and also the espionage spy movies. The Wild Wild West, one of the better shows from the 1960s. I love westerns. I love James Bond, and I love all types of spy type things. So, and all the gadgets and everything. That's in that series. So if you ever want to watch something old that's really good, well made, well written, Wild Wild West, I highly recommend it. Now these are things that's my whole haul. Over the last 3 or 4 weeks, that's what I hauled in. And mostly for helping my friend Artie out, which I'm going to show you some of Artie's stuff. He's like a multi-talented person, friend of mine, that is in a rock band called Joe. He does martial arts. He's an ultimate collector. I mean, he has a little bit of everything in his collection, from comic books to old cigar photos of the old movie stars from the 1920s, 30s, 40s, posters, and original artwork. He's got some of the best original. I'll be making a videotape of that one of these days soon. And also I'm going to show you some of my original artwork. I was going to make that video first, but I said, Pops has to have a comic book haul. All the other guys that show these videos on YouTube and whatnot have a comic book haul. And this is really my first comic book haul. Now these are things I got recently within, I don't know, the last 6 or 7, 8 months. And I'll consider them part of the haul, even though they weren't, you know, all that recent. The Underworld Trilogy. Kate Beckinsale. If you haven't seen these are great. And this shows the Underworld Extended Cut, Underworld Evolution, and Underworld Rise of the Lycans. So it's got the first 3, actually Rise of the Lycans was a prequel, but it's got the first 3 Underworlds on it. Then I got a Blu-ray, The Underworld Awakening. Now Kate's back, but a lot of the main cast is not in this one. So it may disappoint some of the fans. I kind of liked it, but it wasn't as good as the first 3, that's for sure. And of course I got it on Blu-ray, The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. And the special effects in this are crazy. When that dragon comes on towards the end, it's just so well done. The CGI is just unbelievable. These were fairly cheap. I got these for less than $10, and it's the Resident Evil collection. Now I had a couple of them in my collection, but I didn't have all 4. So I decided to get this, and I'll just give away or sell the other 2. And that's the Resident Evil, fun game, great movies, and Resident Evil, The Extinction. Oh, Retribution, I mean. Extinction's on that one. This is like the 5th installment of the Resident Evil movies. And a movie I want to recommend to everybody right here and now is The Pacific Rim. If you like giant monsters like Godzilla and Gamera and Rodan and all that, this is the movie for you. And if you like the Shogun Warriors, this movie was so much fun. The Pacific Rim. I got it on DVD. I wish I would have bought it on Blu-ray because I liked it so much. It's got Ron Perlman in it also, from Hellboy. The guy that played Hellboy, and a great actor. And just a fantastic, fun movie. The Pacific Rim. I think they're going to make some sequels. I'm pretty sure this is the same producer that has made the Godzilla movie that's coming out. It's already out maybe today or yesterday. And because I brought the Spider-Mans out, I'm going to show you something that I had in my collection for a little while. But I got the Amazing Spider-Man number 600. And what's special about it is it's signed by John Romita. Now, he's like one of the best known artists on Spider-Man. It has the certificate of authenticity with it. So, it's got the whole gambit. Thank you for bearing with Pops, also known as Dave, or should I say Dave, also known as Pops, comic book vault video. Alright, my very first one, where I actually show you a haul I picked up within the last week or 2. As always, keep collecting and keep on smiling.